Now, with defensive players, you've been around some of the iconic defensive players you've been around. You've been around a lot of offensive guys too. But one position the Steelers have been known to really hit on year in and year out has been wide receivers. I think the last wide receiver to be selected by the Pittsburgh Steelers was Santonio, and I think it was in 2006, if I'm not mistaken. But outside of that, you guys have been able to hit on wide receivers in the late round, and they cash in big time. Talk about what has been the main ingredient for the success at wide receivers when you look at drafting guys like Mike Wallace, Antonio Brown, Emmanuel Sanders, Deontay Johnson, Martavius Bryant, Juju Smith-Schuster, and now you got a new toy in Chase Claypool, man. What has been the main ingredient in being able to hit on these guys?
I think the most significant thing first is just there's so many of them out there. There's so much spread football in college, man. If you just open your mind up to evaluating all the types of guys that are available. You know, you got the slots from the spread offenses. You got the X's that work backside of trips in some of the 3-by-1 offenses. You got the outside winners, the outside man-to-man route winners, and things of that nature. We've always taken an approach that we don't make judgments based on the type of offenses that they're in. We just look at their skills. And so first and foremost, we're interested in football players first, man. Guys that show a certain toughness that goes above and beyond the position, or a certain competitive spirit that goes above and beyond the position. Case in point, you were teammates of a number of those guys. Man, very rarely will you find a speed guy that's a deep threat that's as physically tough as Mike Wallace.
Yeah.
You know, he was a speed guy that was no punk, that was a tough guy, that didn't back down from physical confrontations. He was 200 pounds, et cetera. Emmanuel Sanders and AB were 180-pounders who were uniquely tough and competitive for 180-pounders. They were wiry, strong. They didn't turn down competition. And I think that's the things that are most important to us, that they're football players first, and that has to be revealed to us in a certain way. And we don't care about what way it reveals itself. We fell in love with Claypool by the way he sunk his teeth into the special teams combat down in Mobile at the Senior Bowl. This guy was special teams MVP, I think, at Notre Dame his second year in school there. So he showed football awareness and things that were outside the wide receiver position. And for us, we believe that that's a good indicator that you got a football player, and then they're going to do the things that the wide receiver position requires. To me, Hines Ward is a nice blueprint for that, right? That dude was a wide receiver, but he was so much more.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a standard bearer for us. We're looking for football players who happen to play wide receiver. And Hines is just a good blueprint for that, man, a guy that I just appreciated on that level and really have modeled the evaluation and selection of others just based on that principle alone.